The lights inside the Toyota Center in Houston burn bright, cutting through a haze of anticipation and restless energy. Thousands rise to their feet, the sound rolling like thunder before the storm. This is not just another title defense. It's a collision of styles, wills, and cultures. From Tijuana, Mexico, comes Jaime Munguia, only 22 years old, a towering force at 154 pounds, undefeated, explosive, a young champion molded by power and pressure. A prodigy who turned professional at just 16, denied the Olympics by age but not by destiny. Munguia has spent the last 2 years tearing through the division, breaking bodies, overwhelming challengers, and proving that youth can carry terrifying strength. Across the ring stands Takeshi Inoue of Tokyo, Japan, older, shorter, but carved from something different. A pressure fighter with a granite chin and a relentless motor. Inoue is not here to survive. He was called a bully, a monster, a man who thrives in chaos, dragging opponents into ugly, exhausting wars. As the referee calls them to center ring, touch gloves, let's go to work. You can feel it. The tension snaps tight. Munguia holds the physical advantages, height, reach, raw power. But Inoue steps forward with no hesitation, eyes locked, shoulders loose, already planning to suffocate the champion. The bell rings, and immediately, this fight tells a different story than expected. Inoue charges like a man possessed, throwing heavy right hands, crowding Munguia, refusing to respect the champion's size. The early seconds reveal a truth. This will not be easy, and it will not be clean. This is a fight that demands suffering. From the opening round, Takeshi Inoue forces Munguia into unfamiliar territory. He stays inside, shoulders rolling, hands short and tight, pulling Munguia toward the ropes with physical strength and raw intent. It's his signature move, rough, exhausting, relentless. Munguia, expected to dominate with power, instead chooses discipline. He flashes a stiff jab, circles laterally, punches to the body, and boxes with patience. It's a calculated adjustment, a sign of maturity beyond his years. Inoue lands overhand right, snapping Munguia's head back, making the champion breathe through an open mouth earlier than expected. The crowd senses it. This is not a one-sided showcase. Inoue absorbs heavy shots and keeps coming, his chin absorbing punishment that would fold lesser men. By rounds 3 and 4, the pace becomes grueling. Inoue fires looping shots to the body, slick uppercuts inside, while Munguia answers with thudding hooks, straight rights, and a punishing body attack of his own. Each exchange feels heavier than the last. Inoue's madness has method. He blocks shots old school, rolls with punches, then fires back with his own bombs. Munguia begins doubling the left hook, sticking the jab, loading up from distance, but Inoue refuses to slow. He eats punches, wincing, then marches forward again. The crowd roars as momentum swings back and forth. Munguia talks to his opponent mid-fight, not taunting, but acknowledging the battle unfolding. Both men land clean, effective punches, and neither blinks. Inoue's courage becomes impossible to ignore. Munguia's power becomes undeniable. By the middle rounds, sweat flies, mouths hang open, ribs bruise, and every shot carries intention. This is no longer about talent. It's about endurance, will, and pride. As the fight drags into the championship rounds, fatigue settles in like a shadow. Munguia's punches are still heavy, still dangerous, but they now come layered with effort. Inoue's face swells, his eyes narrow, yet his feet keep driving forward. Again and again, Munguia lands brutal body shots, shots that would drop most fighters, yet Inoue absorbs them and presses on. At moments, it looks like the challenger might finally fall. He stumbles, nearly takes a knee, bends into the ropes, but refuses to go down. The crowd rises as one, sensing history being written in blood and sweat. Inoue fires back with overhand rights, snapping Munguia's head, reminding the champion that he is still in danger. Munguia responds with monstrous combinations, uppercuts, hooks, straight rights, trying to end it with one perfect blow. But Inoue's chin holds, his heart holds, his will refuses to break. Round after round, Munguia wins on activity, power, and cleaner punches, yet Inoue wins something else, respect. By round 11, Both men are spent warriors, throwing sledgehammers from sheer determination. The crowd delivers a standing ovation before the final bell even rings. This is not about belts anymore. This is about survival. Final round. Munguia boxes smart, staying composed, landing the heavier shots, knowing the scorecards favor him. Inoue charges one last time, eyes swollen, body battered, but spirit unbroken. No retreat, no surrender. The bell rings, and the war ends not with a fall, but with mutual acknowledgement. When the final bell echoes through the arena, both fighters stand, exhausted, bruised, and forever changed. Jaime Munguia raises his gloves, breathing deep, knowing he has passed a test no statistic could measure. Takeshi Inoue leans against the ropes, chest heaving, eyes swollen, but standing tall. The judges' scorecards confirm what the fight revealed. Winner by unanimous decision, still undefeated, Jaime Munguia. But numbers cannot capture what happened here tonight. Munguia proved he could adapt, box, endure punishment, and win without relying solely on raw destruction. He added layers to his legacy, showing the heart of a champion, not just the fists. And Inoue, he arrived as a challenger, and left as something more. He closed the gap, forced the champion to dig deep, and earned respect from fans, commentators, and opponents alike. The crowd roars once more, not for victory alone, but for courage. This was not a fight defined by knockdowns or knockouts. It was defined by resolve. A young champion tested by fire, a fearless challenger who refused to fade. In the end, Jaime Munguia keeps his crown, but Takeshi Inoue leaves with something just as powerful, a reputation forged in battle. On this night in Houston, boxing delivered exactly what it promises at its best: truth, pain, pride, and unforgettable heart.